Hello all. Today we'll be doing a business letter. Business letter is an inseparable part of business communication because when you will be joining organization from the morning till night you will have to do written correspondence. For that you will be requiring the understanding of as how to write business letter, what are the do's and don'ts of formal letter, which will make your communication very effective within the organization and also external. Important points to be considered are the letter is written in formal language, which is very important, and it is a very effective mean of correspondence between two organizations. We may have to write letters to our customers, we may have to write letters to our vendors, to government agencies, different organizations. They are used for different purposes. Basically, we may use business letter for placing orders. For example, if I want to order 50 computers for my organization, I'll write a letter to the vendor and with the proper specification and the format that we'll be doing in our coming lectures. We may write a letter for making inquiries, making credit request, apologies for wrong or simply to convey goodwill, etc. I'm very sure that you all must have received some kind of written communication from some organization, even when you are not working. Okay, so therefore this is a very important aspect, and it has to be done in a very flawless manner, because whenever you give something in writing, it becomes a legal document, it becomes a proof of some kind of transaction that is going on between two organizations. Therefore the proper care should be taken, and it is a permanent record, because once you've written a letter, it becomes a permanent record which can be used in support or against your statement. They are confidential, formal, and delivers persuasive, well considered messages. And the style of writing business letter depends upon what kind of relationship the two organizations they have. Basically, common types of business letter would be the acceptance letter, like when you will be appearing for campus interviews. Then if you are selected, then you are given an offer letter by the organization, and then you mail them again, or you write to them again accepting the offer. So that is also a legal formal letter. Then acknowledgement letter, adjustment letters are there, application letters are there. Application letters we have been writing since childhood. Then complaint letters are there, covering letter is there, that you will be understanding in your later classes. Then inquiry letter, order letter, refusal letter, response letter, sales letter. So all these kinds of letter are the example of any kind of formal communication that is being done in the organization. Okay, now whenever you decide to write a letter, there are few points to be considered. First, we have to identify our reader, to whom are we writing, so that will actually decide the tone of our letters, and also the content of the letter and the choice of words that we are using. So it will highly depend upon the reader. Then establish your objective. We have to establish our objectives, because what actually is the purpose of letter? Is it an acceptance letter or application letter, or is it a complaint letter? So accordingly we may decide upon the content. Then we have to organize the letter, as we will understand the format, then you will be able to understand what organizing a letter means. Then close the letter, and closing and salutation is also an important part that we'll be doing. Okay, basic parts of letter would be written address, date, letter address, salutation, body, complimentary close, and name of the writer. This is one of the many formats that are prevalent in the business world that we use. So we have to understand each part now. Okay, yeah. The sender's address. Sender is the person who is actually sending the letter. Okay, so either we can send the letter on our letterhead, or we can write the name of the name and address of the person who is sending. Okay, if it is on the letterhead, then we don't have to write the address and name again. A letterhead, everything is already printed either in the center or on the sides. It includes company logo, symbol, name, address, zip, telephone number, fax number, email address, website, etc. It is printed at the top, center, left or right side, as we discussed. Okay, yeah. But if it is not there, then we have to write sender name, address, contact details can be typed. Then comes the reference. If there is a chain of communication that is going on between the two parties, then we have to write a reference also. It actually facilitates easy accessibility of the prior correspondence that is being made. And it actually signifies the objective. Like whenever we write, for example, I give you an example, like if I want to order 50 computers from a vendor, so I may use one reference, and this reference will be talking about the computer delivery. So as soon as I see the reference numbers specifying the computer details, then I will know okay, this correspondence is with ABC company, who is supposed to supply 50 computers, and I will be able to recall everything that is being talked about this transaction. So reference is actually to understand the total talks that we have had or in future will be having regarding the subject matter. Then is the date. Date, there are two ways of writing. British method, we write 4th July 2012, for example. American method is July 4th 2012. So any of the method we can use. Okay, this is we have to type it 2-3 lines under the letterhead, or we can type it under the written address also. The inside address. Inside address is the person to whom we are referring to. The inside address will comprise of name, address of the firm or the individual to whom the letter is written. And accordingly, we have to write the designation like Shri, Miss, Mr., Doctor, Professor, Captain, Major, General, depending upon the person who we are addressing to. If we don't know who the post holder is, we may use some gender neutral addresses also, like the sales manager, the account departments, etc. Then subject is very important, because by understanding the subject, we'll be able to understand what is this letter talking about. Okay, so the subject is written like, we'll write subject, and we may write the reference as is given in the example, MBM SD 285 dated 5th October. So either we can write like this. So if you receive a letter with this reference, this subject, so you will be understanding what actually it is talking about. If not this, you may write it also regarding the supply of 50 computers. This can also be the subject. Okay, so accordingly we may write. There is no specific way of writing subject, but it should be taken into consideration that it should facilitate easy understanding of the content, what actually it is talking about. In our childhood also, in your schools also, you must have written application for leave. So subject will be leave application. So without reading the whole letter, the reader would know, okay, the letter would be talking about leave application, leave, okay, of the person sending. Okay, yeah. Then comes the salutation. Salutation is the how actually we start the letter, how we greet the person to whom we are referring to. Okay, we can write dear madam, sir, dear Mr. John, dear Nancy, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear sales manager, etc. Okay, so in this way we can write, and it is written 2 space below the inside address. Inside address is the person who is sending. Okay, 2 lines above the body of the letter. It is followed by a comma, colon, Okay, then gender neutral would be respected sales manager. So the sales manager can be a female or a male, or dear Nancy, it will be you're addressing a female. So depending upon whether you know the person to whom you're referring, or you don't know. Okay, yeah. So we till now we have understood the sender's address, the reference, the date, the inside address, and the subject and the salutation. Okay, now we'll continue in our next lecture.